She's entertained millions of people. I think we owe her something back, and I think this is something we can do for her at this point in her life.
Right now, plans are underway to bring an orca captured from Puget Sound in 1970 back home. Tokitae has been at the Miami's aquarium for more than 50 years.
All week long, we are in Miami and Nova Scotia getting answers on what it will take to move Tokitae 3,000 miles home and what her new protected sea pen in the Pacific Northwest could look like.
King 5's PJ Randhawa starts us off tonight in Miami to explain how the move will work.
I'm here at the Miami's aquarium, where Tokitae has spent the last 53 years living in one of the world's smallest orca tanks.
When you've lived in Miami your entire life, you know there is an orca there named Lolita.
For more than half a century, families like the Grimaldis flock to the Miami's aquarium.
She's sort of like part of the community. They bring you here when you're a little kid.
All to get a glimpse of their star attraction, Lolita, the killer whale. Today, we know her as Tokitae.
Then you bring your children until one day you're enlightened and you're like, wait a second, it's so wrong.
Over the past decade, awareness about Tokitae's deteriorating living conditions bubbled to the surface in Miami, revealing a sad truth behind the star of many happy home movies.
What you don't know, it's obviously, the conditions that this beautiful Lolita has lived in for so many years. There's no home, there's no time out, there's no let me get some rest, let me relax. That is her entire life. She can't even stay away or hide from the scorching sun.
She can swim deep, she can do anything.
Toki's medical records paint a dire picture of life inside this aquarium, with the 57-year-old orca living in dirty water, being fed rotten fish, and forced to perform for crowds despite injuries.
Her story broke my heart, so from that moment I thought I had to do something.
While the protests went on for several years, it wasn't until 2018 that momentum behind the fight to free Toki got a huge boost, thanks to the Lummi Nation.
I started supporting them, and I can't believe that 4 years later, just we are close to achieve this goal. We are very, very close. We changed the history, it's unbelievable.
Thank you so much for joining us.
On March 30th, 2023, Tokitae's new corporate owners, the Dolphin Company, made history by signing a pledge agreeing to the orca's return to Washington waters.
More than just moving Lolita to a place where she will be better, she will become a symbol for us and the future generations.
Now, are there no risks at all? Of course there are some risks. There are risks today for any one of us wherever we are. But is this an opportunity to bring her home? Yes, it is.
The plan to return Tokitae to Washington was developed under the guidance of Charles Vinnick with the group Friends of Toki. First, Tokitae would be coaxed into a custom-made stretcher and lifted out of her aquarium with a crane into a small container filled with ice water. From there, onto a cargo plane for a 6-hour flight to the Bellingham airport. Next, Toki will be loaded onto a barge to transport her to ancestral waters in the Salish Sea. There, she'll be put into an underwater sea pen at a private location. She'll receive round-the-clock medical care and feedings. She's expected to live in that sea pen for the rest of her life.
She is active, she is responsive, she's just full of life. And she has demonstrated a will to live that, frankly, almost no other whale has ever demonstrated. 56, 57 years old, ups and downs.
Vinnick's team is already working to secure approval for Toki's release from the several required federal agencies. If approved, those helping fund the move say she could be home by the end of 2023, but only if she remains in good health.
All of this kind of life force all gathered together to bring her home. And it's a tremendous opportunity that we have to work as expeditiously as possible to bring it to fruition.
So we'll just go like right around here. Yeah.
Back in Miami, Toki is no longer on display to the public,
Scully Chatanat.
but a wall and some fencing won't keep out.
We're here to tell you how much you mean to us and how much you mean to the world.
Messages of love
You're so beautiful, girl, and your day is coming.
for the journey ahead.
The entire world is praying for you, Tokitae. She's a native sister. She's a Salish Sea daughter. She represents everything native and everything pure. There's no what if or what if something happens along the way. She is going home, period.
While the cost of Toki's transport, as well as the construction of her sea pen, will be covered by Indiana Colts owner Jim Irsay, and some estimate that cost could be upwards of $20 million. In Miami, PJ Randawa, King 5 News.
It is an incredible undertaking. A lot of steps need to happen before work can begin to move Tokitae back to the Pacific Northwest. NOAA will be a big part of the process. So far, it says it has not received an official plan from Friends of Toki, the group coordinating the effort. Until then, the agency is not sharing any approval steps with us. Friends of Toki says it's too early to say when the application will be filed. Once it gets through the federal steps, it will then be in the hands of the state. The Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife says a number of permits will have to be approved. The State Department of Natural Resources will also be involved, studying the proposed area for a sea pen to make sure the environment will not be disturbed.
Once the plan is approved, those close to the project say Tokitae will get training ahead of that move to make her feel more comfortable. They'll lower the water temperature in the tank that she's in right now because the water is a lot warmer than the Salish Sea. They'll also get her used to the sling that she'll be moved in. Then they'll work with her on behavioral training to help keep her calm during the move.
Tomorrow night at 6:30, Erica Zuko is in Nova Scotia, getting an up-close look at a new sanctuary in the works for other whales. She talks with experts about the challenges they've had to overcome and the lessons learned that could be applied to building Tokitae's new home.
It serves the animals because it is a place where we can provide as much of a natural environment as we can to the animals. We give them a little bit back of what was taken from them. This is not an easy thing to accomplish, and we're just going to keep going till we do it.
That is coming up tomorrow at 6:30 for a look at all of our coverage this week. Just text the word Toki, T-O-K-I, to 206-448-4545, and we will send you a link.